I was adding my title. I turned on live and I missed out my title. So, guys, how are you this morning? I am a little calmer than this week because this week I had to be going fast, moving fast to get a lot of things done because I put myself on a little time restriction since I chose to set up my fourth branch of shop. So yes, guys, my bun is a bit lean, so I have to be redoing my hair bun before I hit the road and go in front of my new staff members that I'm training to work on behalf of me when I am not here. Today is our last day of training, so I'm still running behind time. Not to say I am lacking of time commitment and messing up with my deadlines. But I knew I was gonna run a bit late when I saw the challenges the building possessed, because even though it was considered finished by the builder, there were several little glitches that was not in place that needs to get in place. But you know, these are the challenges of new building, and the people that is doing the building aren't professionals. They are new to the building thing, or even if they consider themselves professionals because they have done several before, I think they're still new to it, because when you do construction, even if you're not there, I believe if you call someone else to do the business, suppose I was to call another plumber or another electrician or somebody to do the business, they're supposed to can do it. Because if the builder dies, say for instance, if the builder dies, what happened? You die too? Your building died too? Your building collapsed? That is irrational to me. So, what I'm saying is it would be a good idea for me to, extend my time since I'm running behind time. According to my partner, he says I move so fast that I never get to do the things properly. But you have to remember, it's me alone doing certain things because my mom and her family members, she set up to put obstacles in my way. I don't know what forever reason. But when these obstacles came into my way, I managed to overcome with new ideas on what to do to make it possible. And because of her, we never really get along growing up. After high school, after I got married to my first husband, my mom and I never ever got along since then. And after my dad died, we never ever got along. And that was when I was 18, from 18, 19 years old. I just did my work in what I found myself in, because when my dad died, I was working with my Auntie Pansy, Auntie Chedising. She did sewing and fashion designing, of which I went in and learned. So thanks to, mom not getting along with me, I was able to learn my fashion designing through Auntie Pansy and registering courses as well. So I appreciate my Auntie Pansy Chedising, who had helped me to get started into the business world as well on my own, despite the circumstances of my hardship of when my dad died. So it so happened that, as the challenges arise, I had to find solution. So after my first husband and I didn't work out as we expected. Then I got my second husband, and we flew over to America and to England and studied further. You know, cutting the long story short. But it brought me back to where, because my family always have some kind of sister call and saying, Chrissy, you need to come because she wants to leave and she wants to migrate, and she and mommy not getting along either and stuff. So I suppose my mom does not get along with her kids in the sense that she's trying to pressure us to be stronger than we can be because we're human and we're females. So it's not going to be easy to, you know, be strong, manage all your properties and your businesses at the same time, be a mother to your kids and be a wife to your husband. So, you know, I guess that marriage breakdown, and so I started to focus, okay, I have to make sure my kids are okay, because remember, I'm coming from 2 other marriage and they both produce children. So they're my responsibility. They did not ask to be born. It is me who choose to bring them into the world. Me and whichever partner at the time agreed that, okay, since you think you can do this, we're gonna do this. And it so happened that they are here, and we know it's my responsibility to make sure they're okay, because I have been doing that all my life to bring them into adulthood. Many people take on such a responsibility and their kids die before they even become an adult. So I am thankful and appreciative, because I look on it to say it's God's will, because I pray, I go to Catholic church, and you know, prayers get answered all the time. I have, you know, bishop cousin and reverend uncle and aunties and all those. So if they keep praying for you, you're gonna keep strong in whatever you choose to do. So not until my sister migrated and ran away from mom, because according to her, she's gonna run away from mom and do something for herself because she's big and she didn't like the dictatorship and the sabotages and the bad mind that mom plays on us, her children, because she does it to me, she does it to Ivorine, she does it to Chistasia, she does it to my son Don. Anybody that's around her, mom feels she must do that. I don't know why. Maybe it's a controlling thing she has. So she's trying to control and losing control. So I try to separate myself from certain family members that I know do that kind of behavior. Because when I had to send in my resignation now from Crescent, because coming back from England, I resorted to helping her out downtown into the Crescent, because Ivorine was migrating, right? Ivorine wasn't comfortable being around her. So I said, you know, since I just come back and I'm putting myself together, I still have to complete certain studies, and I still have the children. It would be hard to, you know, adjust back to normalcy. So I would go into Crescent and volunteer my time and everything like that. And I said, you know, as we go along, if I had to work, I would have to get a proper salary. And because of my qualifications studying in England and stuff, I said, okay, I will come back and volunteer my time at Crescent and do whatever I can do. But I can't stay here because I have to do my JTS studies. I have the children to take care of. I opened CSB Productions within that scope of time where I am starting my business. So mom and I never had a good relationship because she always give her children that trouble. So Ivorine ran away. I ran away to Westmoreland because when she realized I was going to migrate to America and link up with Auntie Bev, she suggested, before the last resort was to come to Westmoreland and set up the house as a guest house, because my name was on the house as well. So it's not as if she and my father did not make provisions for me and Ivorine to survive when we grew up and to live according to how they brought us up. Because according to how mom and dad brought us up, We went to Priory. That's an elite school. We went to, most of our friends and stuff were diplomats, ambassadors, prime ministers, children's, and stuff that went to Priory as well. So we were socialized in an elite way, you know, with the expectation that we would have grown up to turn out to manage the business well, have your own business, and continue to socialize in the elite circles with your elite friends that you meet. But it so happened that the challenges of life is so hard, yeah, but according to my mom, if she did it, why can't we, her children, do it too? So that was the main reason why Ivorine did her business, what she does in Orlando. She used to do it in New York, work in New York, earn her keeps, and set up herself and her family over there before she moved to Orlando and buy her house over there and set up. Her husband went over to join her and him set up house in America, Long Island, and New York area. So, you know, yes, mom's pressure of pressuring us to do well has worked out because my sister is doing excellently. She and her husband and her children, they have all started their own business, which is the aim. Everybody's greatest goal and wish in life is to own your own business. My daughter ran away, and after a while, because when I came to Westmoreland to set up the properties down here with CSB Production, because I had resigned Crescent, right? And I said the only way I can come back and work with Crescent is through CSB Productions, because CSB Productions offer management services. So I did my management services for Crescent Variety Store through CSB Productions, and that's how we normally get my salary to build Crescent Variety, to build Crescent, continue building Crescent, and to build my business in CSB Productions. My daughter now, I had left her to work and study at Crescent several years ago. Well, my daughter says 10, 11 years ago she was there, but grandma now gave her a lot of pressure, and because of that, she says she ran away and said no, she wants to study further and she don't want to stay in Jamaica where she's limited on her growth. So she migrated to Canada and got scholarships, set up her business over in Canada, and she's doing excellent job over there because I've seen some of her works, I've seen some of her foods that she cook and put on social media as advertisement. So my daughter have a lot of potential, and I'm proud of her in so many ways. I now am setting up my 4th branch of CSB Productions because in working with mom to down here, when she came down and saw that I was renting out spots on the open land over there in my survival tactics to take care of myself and the children and to continue paying my bills and stuff, she came with the solution. Please, Juliet, don't come near me now. Don't come near me now. Don't come near me now, please. Don't come down. No, I wasn't gonna go. I wasn't gonna go. I canceled it because I realized your Baptist church is targeting me like Uno demons. Uno is want to hurt me for whatever reason, and I don't know. So me have to tell my story as to why it is I am here. Why is it mom is getting mentally ill and cussing and cutting all these bad words to me? Because you are filling her up with a lot of stories that is none of her business to know, but because you're picking on me, and I am trying to tell you, do not come near me, because I have to try and get a court order to keep you 100 meters away from me. You understand? Because I'm scared of you guys and in the obias and in the demons and in the practice whatever rituals in the practice down here as you know lodge practices or an Illuminatis or whatever. Me afraid of una on it because I'm not used to that in Kingston, where I come from. We don't do those things. So when you come with all sorts of behaviors like that, I don't want you near me, Miss Juliette Blair, or whatever your name is, because from I came down here and I realized you started picking on me. Finally, when mommy wasn't here, you wasn't here, and I did my thing on my own. Me and Rasta Shani and Brother Man, them used to do with things on our own. I never even know say you existed, because you had Noel Young and you, the cane farmer, was your husband or is your husband, and the two of them work together and do nothing together. You were never in my space. All of a sudden you come and start text set on me because me and my partner doing my thing without a problem. And because we're doing our thing without a problem, it upset you. Other people's behaviors cannot upset you. You're doing your thing, you do your thing. I am doing my thing, and I have been doing it for the past 14 years from I leave Kingston and I resigned Crescent position. The only reason mom hired me is because I started CSB Productions, and I said CSB Productions is my company that me start to take care of myself and my kids, and if you want me to help you with Crescent, I will help you with Crescent under the surface of CSB Production Management Services. Right? My accountant knows that. She knows that. You don't know my business because I don't talk to you when I realize you are not who I think you are. When I realize you're a hypocrite, Miss Juliette. And I realize you stake out and torment me and torment everybody that comes in my life that you see that is there as my support person or whatever. I don't want to have an association with you, Miss Juliette Blair. Never, ever, ever. And that's why I'm putting out a restraining order against you, not to come within 100 feet of me. Right? Because I never had that problem until now, because you were always keeping your distance. So I don't know how comes all of a sudden this week when I set up my CSB production, you have come up in my face. And I feel my mother with all sorts of story, and I mother her. Every time she see Rasta, she jump on him like she an animal. And I attack him. You attack him. I never see nothing like that in all my life. Mommy says she comes from Westmoreland and you are her blood, and I saw Uno grow for jump on people and attack them. Well, me never see nothing like that. So people will walk and I do them thing and I do them work, and now pay on no man and Uno spring on them and jump on them. If that is what you do that. But I have to take up a restraining order that you don't come near me. Because the people them that is around me that I mix with, Uno want jump on them and attack them like Uno a wild animal. So there is no way I could encourage you to come into my life and take set upon me to create that way, because me not do them things there. As a Christian people don't jump on people and attack them. And according to you and mommy them and the whole bunch of them is so holy and they're so church-wily, and that fullness spirit telling you to do to human beings. Sabotage, tell lie, thief, cheat. Why? That's not going to get anybody nowhere. Today you will be up there and tomorrow you will be down there. And that is why mommy is suffering with all the motor heart attack. 3 heart attack one person get because of Juliette's behavior with mommy, and them keep working together to do that. So Juliette have put her into a position with them 3 heart attack there. Because of Juliette pump her with stories to get monies out of her each time. Because of that she teach Juliette when she grew. Come and tell me some liar stories so I can give you whatever money I have, so you can take care of your 5 picnic them. Right? I never asked to be born. And she and my father bring her come and because she want to get my father's support and my father's help. That's why she gonna have sex with my father to have me. Right? So because, and Ivorine, because she didn't want my father to leave her and go marry nobody else. Right? She wanted my father to work mine. She and Juliette and the whole of Juliette family them and her picnic them and everything. So she had to sell my father the sex and whatever and try hold him. Well, I'm not saying nothing is wrong with that. Women have to do what them have to do for make the man them hold them. But it produced me and Ivorine. And because it produced me and Ivorine has children too. So therefore, our children are a product of Mr. Wilkins, who Mr. Wilkins gave my mom all that she have so that she can be here today to live. But Juliet down on her. I suck her. Me need money. Me need money to do this. Me picnic them need money for buy a car, for buy a house, for them to live nowhere. My mother give her Juliet a house that my grandfather turned over to my mother as a gift, because a certain people don't want to wait till them dead for give them people them give them before. So my grandfather give my mother her inheritance on certain things before. And mommy take it and give it to Juliet. And Juliet in return was supposed to share it with her children. And in return, Juliet sold it, take the money, give it to Noel Young, who is her husband at the time, the cane farmer, helping her with her cane farmer. Right? This is my grandfather's house. That was supposed to stay within the family. And you're going to say, I must trust somebody like that? I cannot trust Miss Juliet Blair. I will not trust her with my life, because she will leave me homeless and walking and begging street. Just like when she do her picnic them, we have to walk and a beg job and a beg catch a people's house and a pay rent on top of it. Why? When you get all of that, do not come and fast with me, please, Miss Juliet Blair. We keep a distance, just as it. When I came down, mommy never did a fast with me. You never did a fast with me. You pack up your things and you go which part you belong. You and Noel was supposed to be on Bear Road, because that was the house your cane farming built for you and Juliet, and you picnic them for living at. So I don't know how comes you come now and torment me into my space with my children. It's not fair. It's not fair, and I pray that the Lord will find something to do with you, to remove you from my life totally, permanently, forever and ever and ever. Because it is not a pleasant experience I have been having for the past 30 years of my life, knowing you in it. Because anytime it is pertaining to Juliet Blair, it's something negative. It is never anything positive. When you come around, it's an argument. Any single time you come around is a fight or an argument. Why? It cannot be you come around and there's any peace. I am coming fixing up my shop, and you bring 12 your dozen passy picnic them for block up my gate to obstacle me. And in addition, them born and grow down in a Westmoreland, man I beat them with cutlass every day. Them I tell them all the Jamaican bumbos and vernaculars that me never even hear of in my life till me reach a Westmoreland. So your children knows those language and only accustomed to those language. They don't know English. So even when me say, who park them car, that no right, that is short, pure idiotism behavior, that you don't do things like that. They prefer to hear me say the vernaculars of the stretch of cloths them that grandma and Juliet them speak to them people all the time. So if me not learn it because them can't speak no other language, they not understand no other language, and only if you say those words, that's when them get up and run. And get up and leave you alone and stop texting by you. Because that's what them understand. Right? Because them born and grow into the community. So I am like, no, it is too stressful, because if I am not accustomed to that and I have to do that all the time to let people behave themselves. Don't bring your kids in the house and write on my walls. Don't bring your kids in the house and drop the garbage all over. Don't bring, and them still do that constantly. What you must say? It's stressful. That is stressful, because you can't keep talking to people like that. If you have to do it once in a while, then we better know somebody. But every single day? What the hell is that? Demons. Demons. Sure, demons. You see a man walking past and you spring out of your chair. What is that? That's not real. That's a demon. You see somebody and you automatically feel you need to go to a psychiatrist. You need mental help. You're going to get a mental breakdown. Human beings don't behave like that. The consistent crying and fighting. No, everybody does something rationally. You have a business, you go to your business space. You see people in them home space, you ask, can I come in? Or if you know you're invited in, you let yourself in because you see the people, them can't walk, them can't do most things like what my parents is. My parents sickly. Because I uno sicker, right? Because una pressure her and she don't know if she say, no, she can't do it because she's old now. She pick up herself and she run downstairs. In the hot shop, she don't have no AC into the shop, you know. This is a concrete building. She put herself in the hot concrete building, in the big sun, and then I wonder why she feels sick. And this is a woman with triple heart surgery, 3 bypass, high blood pressure, diabetes, and everything. And then she wonder what makes she sick. She has about, because Rasta, how you know so Rasta is there? And Rasta just come and go up to do my partition board. Him just do my work. But Rasta gonna make you sick. You're mental. You're gone mad. Juliet make you sick in your head. Because if Juliet never tell you what me I do and what Rasta do, you would not have known anything. Because you're in your bed asleep. So how in the world you know what I am doing? And I follow me because Juliet I fill you with information for you get money. And I've lied information to a scandal. Because me and Rasta out there are talking. I got a house guest this week. And me and Rasta out there at talk. And the joke is, because the holiday hit me. Well, it's not a joke, it's a serious thing, you know, but we have to laugh after serious things sometimes. Because the holiday hit me, I got the dates mixed up, right? Because the 6th did fall on the 7th and it gave you the holiday and whatever. And my house guest was flying in. And by the time she got here, she called and said, I am here. I'm like, what the hell? It's not today, it's tomorrow. So by the time, because Rasta had finished the work into my shop and went down to the camp to do his work down there because he have a lot of work piled up down there with the animals and whatever. And I had to, by the time, no, he was saying, why didn't I ask him to do the partition board instead of tell him? I don't remember what it was about. He said, Chrissy, you're not nice because you should have asked me nicely and said, Rasta, can you please help me do this? You just said, go do that. Like I'm ordering, which he's right. He is my partner, he's human, he's an adult, he's a man. So I was wrong to, boss him around. But as I said, I grew up as a boss, so sometimes maybe my manners might lick me. And you can't say, sometimes even the workers would say to me, Miss Christine, you didn't even tell me good morning. And I'm like, oh, sorry, good morning. Because sometimes you get so caught up. But the thing is, they know better how to deal with me, right? So Rasta now was like, you didn't even ask me nicely to put in this something. You just said, go put in that for me or go do that for me. And that's not nice. I said, okay, whatever. And I said, well, because you see me with a lot of stress and Miss Juliet and the whole and then we start with my blah, 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 blah. So I guess him said, me gonna go do my work, me gonna whatever. Say, me don't know who in the community come now and say, Rasta cuss off Chrissy, Rasta cuss off Chrissy. That is cussing off when you tell the person, say, you must ask me, please can you put in the board or can you do that? When you must ask the person, instead I tell them, say, you put in this something for me or come do that for me. Sometimes it's nice to ask nicely, please can you help me with this? May I help you? If you communicate properly with people, because not everybody are haggish and doggish like Juliet them and our picnic them and mommy them and stuff. Some people are being brought up in a way where people speak to them with a little more respect, and you want certain things done, you're supposed to ask nicely and calm down. But because we're in such an aggressive environment of Little London, because you have the bikes revving, so it makes the air a bit aggressive, so you have to talk louder, or the trucks revving because it's in the town, it's central. So sometimes when you're out there in the mall, the trucks are past the back of it, so you have to be talking so loud over your voice so that people can hear you when you're communicating to them. So it's a bit tedious because I'm not accustomed. Where I live in Kingston, it's very peaceful and quiet. You're not hearing no truck pass, you're not hearing no bike pass, so you get to speak at your own tone. But being into the city, working into the city, and the trucks are passed every day, it's a busy road where the mall is, because it's the town center of Little London we are at. So therefore, if you're doing work out there and people communicating with you, sometimes they might play music and all sorts of something. There's a lot of noise, so you have to be at your highest voice. So it can be a bit stressful out there. But at the same time, I've been doing it for the past 14 years, being down here. You understand? Because when I came down, took my son out to Stella Mars, everybody was like, "You crazy? You must leave this that everybody else wants and gone there." I said, "Well, I can't live with my mom. She's putting on a lot of stress on me because, you know, my husband decided to divorce and marry somebody else and start a new family and whatever. And it's me alone and whichever little time I get to, you know, ask him for little assistance or whatever. Since he's a doctor, you don't get much attention or any help. So you have to figure it out yourself to do your business on your own." So sweethearts, by the time I come down, Mommy said, "Well, don't go to America," because I was going over to where my Auntie Bev is, you know, as me have to tell her my favorite auntie. I was going over to where she is and everything to finish up my studies and stuff, because since Mom and I wasn't getting along and it was peer arguments, and she was like, "But no, you coming to me with the pressure and whatever. Me sending my resignation, and I was getting ready to migrate, as the story goes. And she called me and said, "I have some properties down in Westmoreland that I put your name on, and I would like you to go down there and see if you can make a difference, do anything down there." And we came down, guys, me and my son, because my daughter was graduated Immaculate already. She was in doing some extra courses and stuff in hospitality management and stuff. And you know, I asked Mom, should I get permission to do turn in the guest house? It was actually practically her suggestion. She said, even the guest house, even the house down there, you can set it up as a guest house, and you can do your catering from down there. So she was encouraging at the time when she realized I resigned. So I don't know what it was that maybe she wanted more from me, or to be stronger or whatever, but that was the approach she took, which was very harsh. So I said, okay. I went down bravely. When I came down, oh man, it was stressful. But thanks to Rasta Shaney from Big Bridge, as I said, I say his family member, because he's related to, you know, my aunties, them, the Chedisings, them, the Salabis, them, the Budans, them. He's related to so much, the Williams, them and stuff. And he does welding. He was so talented and creative, because we even made him do a lot of welding work here to help me set up the guest house safely, put on the fence and the gate and all that, because when I came, all those things wasn't on the property. Doors wasn't upstairs and stuff. So I had to do that and put in furnitures and beds and stuff, and, you know, advertise it online and get that going. So my son and I was our little company together, you know, because at that time it must have been something like 10 years old, just this little adorable boy. And we worked together, and he worked with me on it, and he sees the situation I'm in. So when he said he didn't want to, he wanted to work into the business when he became an adult, and see, because of his exposure of seeing what the Little London children being in school, you know, interacting with them in the school and the Little London High School, and seeing how they interact, because I put him in like a year to let him get that experience to see how they survive, how they live and stuff, because, you know, wisdom builds knowledge, and, you know, knowledge builds wisdom. And I mean, going into an environment that is different and learning that should make you a bit smarter in what is happening. And, you know, when him finish and say, you know, Mom, I want to join into the business. I want to do business too, like you and stuff. Sweetheart, is not me telling him now. He made his own choice and his own decision. I just did the action, and he sees how I survived. And I guess he idolizes that, which I am happy that he made that choice. Because even if he was to study medicine or any kind of wellness program or whatever with his brilliant brain, I think it would have led him into business also, because him is not somebody who, you know, was brought up in the sense of you have to take instructions all the time from people. He was brought up in a sense where you're going to be the boss one day because your family have properties, and if anything, you can set up your practice here, you can set up your office here or whatever. So even if he wants to study medicine and say, okay, he would have an office and still offer his services from remote office. So therefore, he would have his own business. If anything, he would be able to collaborate with maybe the professionals and stuff because he's educated that way to can do that. But it was still left up to him to make that choice for his life. So I am still proud of him for his choice, but you know, he's young, so I have a journey to go. So guys, I'm just sharing with you today because I'm running behind time, and as Rasta said, me move so fast till me leave all my cell phones down at camp. And I called him on the phone. I said, pick up my cell phone, please, and bring it come for me. He said, no, you move so fast. No, you go and come and get your cell phone. So I'm just hoping him really, you know, pick up my cell phone and just word him and throw at me. Or I have to go down there to learn the lesson. Say, take it easy. But I had to move fast today, guys, because as you know, Saturday is normally my live day. I normally share my live meditations and my live chats. And I just interact with you guys on social media just in case I can't do it any other day, any other time because of my busy schedules and the demands of other people on my time and stuff. I try to do it on a Saturday or a Sunday when it's more calming and offices are closed and I don't have that much demand of my time. So guys, this is my life to you, but I'm gonna go now and try and, you know, sort out my certificate for my children that I've been training, my younger ones. Not my children, but my young trainees, so they can come and help me in the new business that I'm setting up, because that's what it takes. And people can't do what you expect them to do if you don't train them to do it how you want them to do it, right? And I have to train them first because I don't want it to be said, you know, they tell you what to do and you still do it wrong, because we don't even know if the communication language, what I speak, is even properly understood by what they're hearing. So we're gonna do some tests this morning. We have little quiz tests and role plays to do, and then they get their award, depends on how well they did, okay? So you have a beautiful Saturday now, guys. I'm going to get some work done again on my shop because I have my hands full. And it's fun, and I'm enjoying this because, as my mother always tells me, you know, if you do what you love to do, it's like you never work a day in your life. So find things to do what you love to do and make the best of it, and you'll be a success and you'll enjoy your work. Okay? So take care now and bless up.